Hey everyone! So I have been tagged by Tori McFuck to do the Goth Tag. To the questions. Question 1. How long have you been goth? I have been influenced by the Gothic subculture for I think 4 years. I started getting into the whole thing when I was 14 I think, or 15, and I kind of just grew into it. Question 2. How were you introduced to goth? I don't think I was really introduced to it. It was more so kind of discovering it over time. So as my style and everything kind of developed further, I started branching out into other subcultures and stuff, including goth. And I think the main source of where I obtained my gothiness was just the internet, because I used to look up images a lot of just random alternative people to get inspiration from, and I'd come across goths a lot. And it's funny because I never really thought that I would actually get into it. I always used to think, oh, it's a little too extreme for me, but here I am, so yeah. Question 3. What gothic subgenre would you put yourself in? I don't know if I really fit into an official subgenre, but if I could make up one, I think it would be something like maybe a hippie goth or a fairy goth or something, because I think my style, I feel like it's sort of a mixture of goth, fairy, hippie, a bit of pirates or something. Like, that's why I call myself Captain Shroomcore. So yeah, I don't think that's actually a thing, but if it was, that would be my subgenre. Number 4. What do you believe to be the basis of the Gothic subculture? I think pretty much the same as what Tori McFuck said, which is it started as a music-based subculture, but that it's kind of evolved to become its own thing, and how it's very creatively based. I'm pretty much just saying everything that Tori has said, but, you know, including the music and the clothes and the art and the writing and all that fun stuff. Number 5. What do you dislike about being goth? Probably how long it takes me to get ready in the morning. I mean, it's only an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most, but it's kind of tiring doing that every day that I need to go out. So probably that, and just the general misconceptions that the general public have about goth. It's kind of frustrating, especially when you can't really get through to them. Number 6, what do your parents think of it? My mum is fine with it. She's very supportive of it. She even, you know, buys me clothes that I like and occasionally CDs and stuff like that. So she's very supportive and fine with it and everything, and she always has been. And I don't know what my dad thinks because he's not really involved. Number 7, eyebrows or no eyebrows? My personal preference, if you can't tell, is no eyebrows at all. I don't even draw them on. I think it just looks generally neater to either have no eyebrows at all or to draw them on, and I feel more presentable without lines of hair on my face. That's why I have no eyebrows, and it's just easier. Like, the upkeep of having natural brows is just ridiculous. When I had them, because I was always plucking and like brushing over them to make sure they weren't all fluffy all the time, and it was just annoying. But you know, if you have natural brows, that's cool. If that's what you're happy with, then I don't care if you have natural brows or not natural brows. Question 8, what is your favourite band? I have a few favourite bands, so I'm gonna try and keep it short, but the main ones would have to be Placebo, Marilyn Manson, I know, and The Cure. Yeah, I think that would be my main 3, but my interest in music is very vast, and I like a lot of different types of music, including goth, so yeah. Number 9, what is your opinion on Marilyn Manson? Well, if you can't tell by the background with all of my Manson posters there and there and there and somewhere over there, I really, really like Marilyn Manson. I think he's really intelligent and I really like his music. And I enjoy some of his motivations of how he uses his music to make people question things and, as he said, not take things for granted. But I do think that in the more recent years he has kind of gone downhill, and I prefer the old Manson, to be honest. Yeah, and no, I know he's not goth and all that, well, his music isn't, but that's okay because I still really like him. Number 10, what were your baby bat days like? They were quite awkward, as everyone else's were. I think back in my baby bat days, I was aiming more for the emo thing, but I still added a few goth things in with it, so I think it's not as bad as what it could have been if I was initially aiming for just goth, because if that happened, I would just have been a mess, I think, because even as being kind of emo, I still did a lot of kind of outrageous things, like the swirly, twirly, smudgy makeup and black lipstick everywhere. I mean, you know, black lipstick is fine, but I didn't apply it very well, and it was the cheap stuff that goes shiny and purple after a few minutes. It was awful. And I used to think that wearing like 10 layers of spikes was just so goth and so cool, and it was just looked ridiculous. Yeah, things like that. But again, I don't think it was as bad as what it could have been, and I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, it's very lucky I didn't have that much money back then, like a income from a job or anything, because otherwise I would have been spending my money on all these ridiculous clothes that just looked stupid but I would have thought was so goth, and I would have worn them all at once and it would have been awful. Like, I can just imagine it. So that's it, and now I'm going to tag people. So I tag Calypso O, I hope I said that right, Big Weird Chick, Slytherin Cats, Bright Raven 9, Lily Lunatic, Wolf of Shadows, The Nancy Goth, Miss Mad Hatter Sammy, Morgor, and Sammy Robin. And also anyone else who wants to do it. So that's it, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.